Welcome to Eastern Washington and Banks Lake. Located less than 100 miles west of Spokane, Banks Lake is huge, consisting of over 27,000 acres of water and some of the best warm water fishing in the Northwest. Northwest Outdoors is here to go fishing with guides Gordon Steinmetz and Don Hall. Steinmetz, better known as Big Wally, has been guiding and fishing these waters for more than a decade. Banks is well known for producing great catches of walleye, bass, and trout. So we begin this program on the waters at Banks Lake looking for smallmouth bass, and along the way learn some tips and techniques from two of the Northwest's premier warm water fishing guides.
Whoa, does he? No. That's a nice one. That's a nice average fish for here.
Yeah, that's a good fish there, Gordy.
You know what? He's raised them spines up.
Oh yeah, he thinks he's really something.
When I looking for bass spots here on Banks Lake, a lot of what I'm looking for is this broken rock comes in. Broken rocks hold a lot of food. Crawdads got lots of little crevices and stuff for them crawdads to hang in. And there's you know, a lot of cover for bait fish can hang around in those little rock piles and stuff. The smallmouth kind of tend to relate to broken rock and the edges between broken rock and smooth rock or sand or gravel. They like this access to deep water real close by. Find a spot that you get some fish off, and then it's just really a matter of just going down the lake and finding more spots that are similar to it or alike.
Well, Don, we're moved over here between Barker Canyon and Barker Cove. And these islands out here, there's a little ridge that runs north and south through here. There's kind of we're in about 33 feet of water.
Yeah, I've got 32 right here,
Yeah.
Gordy.
There's fish on here. We're marking some nice fish.
Yeah, there's two real nice
Yeah.
marks right there.
And we've got deep water on both sides of this. It'll go to 70 feet back over here to the east and drop into about 45 on this side. So, wait a minute. Yeah, that's fish. There he is. We got him. Yeah,
All right.
we got him. Yeah,
Oh, that looks like a better fish.
yeah. Acts like a walleye. That's smallmouth. We could get him. He swallowed it too.
He ate it too.
Okay, that's a nice fish there. He's probably about, 3, maybe, Don, huh?
Yeah, he's close to 3 on there.
He's a nice fish. 33, 34 feet, something like that. And I'm gonna cut this, Don. He's,
We can tie another jig on it. It's a
Yeah.
lot harder to make another bass.
Okay, folks, when you come up to Banks Lake in October to fish bass, which is one of the best times of the year, spring and fall, but fall, they are really aggressive. We're gonna fish in about anywhere from 20 to 25 feet down to 30, 33, 35. We caught one this morning in 47 feet. And what we've got over here, some of the lures that Don and I use to fish these fish. So I'm going to turn it over to Don, and he can kind of point out some of the things that we do, the jig heads, the type of plastics that we use, and we're fishing these very, very slow.
Okay, all we're using is a football-shaped jig, a 3/8. Most of the time, you could probably drop to a quarter sometimes, or maybe even jump up to a ½ an ounce. And then we're just putting a tail on there, just a 3 or a 4-inch grub. And we kind of tend to go with colors that are a little bit muted, more of the smoke with flake in it, ambers with, you know, kind of crawdad, natural-looking colors. And once in a while we use a jig head that's got some paint on it, a chartreuse or purple or something, just to kind of give it a little spot of color.
What we've got here is like a tube jig. It's got a little, looks like about a 1/4 or 1/8 ounce jig inside here, lead head, and that will kind of spiral down as you cast it, and that works real good. A hula grub over here, you put the hook through this end here with the tail on it, that works real good. Like you can see, we don't have a lot of flashy colors. A twin tail and a regular 3-inch
Yeah,
grub.
I like these football jigs. I can get this one, because when they touch bottom, as you start to lift on it, that you can see that hook kind of pick up, and it doesn't stick real good here. But as that picks up, that kind of looks like a crawfish in a defensive mode as that rocks up, as you just barely pick it up. And all we're using is about a 6 foot or 6.5 foot medium action spinning rod, 8-pound test mono. You could probably use 10. 8, I like to use 8. It's nice and light, cuts the water. You can get down with a lot lighter jig head. And we're just teasing these along the bottom.
I think the trick is really slow.
Slow is the deal.
The bite is just sometimes like a little rubber band pull or a little thump. It's not a real smash. We're, like I say, depth-wise, we're at anywhere from 20 to 40 feet.
With 91 miles of shoreline, you can fish Banks Lake all year long. It also offers excellent whitefish, catfish, crappie, and perch fishing. Coming up later in the show, Big Wally's Guide Service shows us something a little new to understand the lake's terrain a little better. Now let's take a fishing break for this first aid quick tip from the American Red Cross. The right clothing in the outdoors.
The clothing you take with you to the outdoors should perform 2 important jobs. First, it should protect you from the elements. And second, it should keep you comfortable in a variety of activities and weather conditions. We suggest a system of layering that can be mixed and matched. Start with a breathable insulating inner layer, like cotton or polypropylene. Second, you should have outer layers that protect you from the wind, rain, and snow, like this jacket. Outdoor enthusiasts know that choosing the right footwear can make or break a trip. The type of boots you select will depend on the type of trips you're planning on doing, but you should select boots that are comfortable, breathable, and provide good ankle support. Here is a list, developed by the Mountaineers, of 15 essentials that you'll need for every backpacking trip. A map of the area, a compass, a flashlight with extra batteries and bulbs, extra food, extra clothing, especially rain gear, sunglasses and sunscreen, a pocket knife, matches in a waterproof container, a candle or other fire starter, a first aid kit, a full water bottle, ground insulation, a tube shelter, an emergency blanket, and signaling devices such as a mirror or flares. You can purchase a mountaineering first aid kit, or you can put together the materials yourself. The kit should be light, compact, sturdy, and waterproof. It's a good idea to include rescue directions, along with the first aid steps for common injuries, so you'll know what to do if something happens. You also need to familiarize yourself with the items in your kit. First aid kits are useless if you don't know what to do with them.
Indians, fur traders, military expeditions, and settlers traveled by this area known as Steamboat Rock. In the early 1800s, botanist David Douglas and explorer Alexander Ross passed by here, as did the Hudson Bay Company. Banks Lake was formed by the construction of Grand Coulee Dam and has since been a favorite spot for anglers and water sports enthusiasts. We now join Don and Big Wally for more smallmouth bass fishing on Banks Lake.
We're in October right now, the 12th, 13th October, and the neat part of it is it's really good bass fishing because they're starting to feed for the winter. They're real aggressive, and there's nobody here, you know. I'm fishing in about 25 feet right now. It's really broken bottom. It's up and down and pillars and pinnacles. And
using the depth finder this time of year, since we're fishing deep, it's probably really critical because you got so much structure. And up here, if you're fishing, you could be the best fisherman in the world, and if you're fishing where there isn't any fish, you're not going to catch any. So, you know, it's nice to have the depth finder there and be able to look and know that you're fishing over fish. You can't tell what they are. I mean, you can get a general impression that just from your experience, you know, that yeah, those are bass or maybe those could be walleyes, but it keeps your confidence level up. Right here, fish, those are kind of laying there. They look like bass to me, the way they're relating to the structure up off the bottom a foot or so.
there he is. I don't think he's very big.
A little better one, Glenn?
No, he's gonna jump. He's out there. Well, he's bigger than that other ones we were getting. I'd say maybe a pound, pound and a half.